What is your epic dream?
Ooh, big questions, Val. You'll go for the little stuff. What is my epic dream? I think professionally, I just reached that. Being in music, I've been in music for, my goodness, 37 years. I started piano when I was 5 years old. And I remember hearing about the Philadelphia Orchestra. I used to have the Eugene Normandy recordings as a kid, but not knowing that I was going to end up at the Curtis Institute of Music here in Philadelphia, and then have the Philadelphia Orchestra be the orchestra that I would grow up with while in school, and then to end up actually in that orchestra, and then to be a title chair in that orchestra, and then to become the principal of the bass section of that orchestra. That has been pretty epic for me.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I am so excited to be here today to bring to you this king. This is a very special day. It's only the second time that I've done this live, and what a great reason to do it today. Besides being all gussied up for a gala that's about to happen, I get to introduce to you a man who is a musician. He's an educator. He's a leader. He is a founder of an innovative nonprofit that serves so many young people. He is special because as of Saturday, May 13th, 2023, he became the first principal of a section of the Philadelphia Orchestra, and even more than that, he just may be the first ever African American principal of a string section of any orchestra. That's incredible, and please meet the incredible Mr. Joseph Conyers. Hey, Joe!
Hello, Val. Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much for being here, and I'm so glad that you're here, because this whole thing is about changing narratives.
Sure.
And about busting the narrow narratives that exist about Black men.
Sure.
And in fact, we know through society, through media, that Black men particularly, are seen through such a myopic view that I can only imagine what it's like to be a Black male moving through this world. And so we want to create this narrative to widen it, so that we can hear better stories and more stories of people like you. And so that hopefully one day there's a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models in his life, that he can come to this repository of 6 questions and hear the same 6 questions answered by over 100 different Black men. Wow. Now, you should know, I used to say, we're on our way to 100, but steam has been picking up. So phase 1 was 100, and we're keep moving. And so I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
Wow. That's a great question. I think the best way I can talk about manhood are the men who've been influences in my life. And I think about my father. I think about his father. And it's actually, I'm really thankful for the opportunity to talk about my father in this way, because whenever I tell my music story, it's always about my mom, who loved singing and wanted her children to play classical music. But my dad, he was the provider. I mean, he was working countless hours, and when you're a kid, you don't realize it. It's just dad is going in the morning and comes home at night, always try to make dinner, and then and then left. but what he poured into his children, again, not knowing anything about music at all, but sitting through some lessons, driving us all around the country to go to different festivals or to different summer, and just that dedication. And there was never any hit. Well, he might have fallen asleep in a recital or two. It was almost like his duty, and there was never any question about what he was doing to provide for his family or make sure that his kids got opportunities that he wasn't able to even receive himself.
That's awesome. That's really beautiful. So, Joe, who and or what is important to you?
Ooh, who and or what is important to me? Oh, that's a great question. When it comes to that's actually a really good question. It caught me off guard with that, because I will probably start with the what. What is important to me? I think one of the most important things to me is that in this world, we realize that we're in this together. One of my first passions was weather. And I think one of the things that made me enjoy weather so much was not because it made things stormy and the wind blew and all that fun stuff. Because I grew up in Savannah, Georgia, where there are hurricanes. But the thing about the hurricane is they were so big and they were so powerful, it would cause an entire population to have to move, to run away from the storm. And I always found that to be awesome. Even more so that in the middle of the storm, there was peace and calm. In a world where there's so much strife and people and hatred for, to me, no reason, the fact that we as people could do a much better job at how we embrace each other, how we accept each other, how we listen to each other, is something that actually brings me hope in the world. And through my music, I hope to be able to start some of those conversations of bringing people together, getting folks to work with each other, so that as we all go through this life, we're looking for ways to help each other and make sure that if I have an opportunity and I was able to get somewhere, then I'm going to, in my life, make sure others have the same opportunity so they can not only have what I have, but even more and even better.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. Excellent. So, Joe, how do you want us to see you?
How do I want you all to see me? Hard worker, a giver, and someone who is very passionate. It's just about making the world a better place. I believe in our young people. I believe in particularly a lot of our Black youth who have, by society, in many ways been forgotten, but letting them know and be an example for them about how they can find success, and not only find success, but as I said earlier, through their own success, be able to help others along the way.
That's awesome. So, Joe, what is your epic dream?
Ooh, big questions, Val. You'll go for the little stuff. What is my epic dream? I think professionally, I just reached that. Being in music, I've been in music for, my goodness, 37 years. I started piano when I was 5 years old. And I remember hearing about the Philadelphia Orchestra. I used to have the Eugene Normandy recordings as a kid, but not knowing that I was going to end up at the Curtis Institute of Music here in Philadelphia, and then have the Philadelphia Orchestra be the orchestra that I would grow up with while in school, and then to end up actually in that orchestra, and then to be a title chair in that orchestra, and then to become the principal of the bass section of that orchestra. That has been pretty epic for me. I haven't even had enough time to reflect on that because it's been so fresh. But I'm very appreciative of the fact that all the sacrifice that was poured into me through my parents, through my community, and all of that enabled me to achieve this goal and this dream. And that's something actually I told the critic. This is not something I'm celebrating. I'm saying this is something that we should be celebrating, because it was definitely not the effort of my own that got me to where I am. Epic dream beyond that. Valerie Gay, if there's a way I can make this world better than it is before I am done on this planet, that is my epic dream. If it's using this as a platform, being the principal bass of the Philadelphia Orchestra, through the work of my nonprofit, Project 440, where we use music as a tool to teach young people, high school students, the life skills needed to thrive. The more young people I can reach, I just that's my epic dream, is just let them know that they are loved, that they have a chance, and that I believe in them.
That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Excellent. So you have been answering question 5 implicitly all along. All right. But I want to ask you explicitly.
Yes.
Mr. Joseph Conyers, who are you?
Who am I? The first thing that literally comes to my head, and it's just because this is how I grew up, and I would say this, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think the easiest way to say is I'm a child of God, and the only reason I hesitate in saying that, because I think sometimes when saying something like that, it's almost like I'm trying to say I'm greater than, or that I'm trying to, and that's not it at all. I think as a child of God, I'm humble. I'm grateful and appreciative. I have gratitude for all that I have. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be. And again, with all that I've been given, I only see it as a responsibility to help others. That's it for me. Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. That's quite beautiful. Quite beautiful. So here we are, already at question 6.
Yes.
Which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
What is it? Val, you got all the big stuff. You definitely got all the big stuff. I think when I'm speaking of gratitude from the last question, I want to take it back to my parents. I want to take it back to my family. And I want to take it back to, I keep mentioning my home church, because where my mother grew up, we actually attended the church that she attended as a child. And she still is a member of Conyers Baptist Church, Savannah, Georgia. And the reason I bring that up is because in a world where seeing kids like us playing classical music was so strange, it was so wholly embraced by the congregation, by the minister at the time, Benny R. Mitchell Jr., and they supported me. My mom talks about her life and how all these things just kind of fell into place. And I think about even the woman in Savannah, her name was Lynn Tobin, who started music education programs for young people all throughout the city that I was able to benefit from. The folks who came in my life where I didn't know anything about some of the summer music programs that particularly one in classical music should be attending. They came into my life at the right time, didn't even hear about the college that I would ultimately attend until 9 months before I took the audition, which was Curtis. Everything just kind of fell into place. So I'm just grateful for all the people who took the time to invest in me. And so maybe to answer your question, if there's something else that I wanted to say, I just wanted to say, thank you to all those folks for allowing me to be who I am today.
That's so beautiful. I've been so excited about you for so long. You know this, I fangirl all the time, Joe. And I'm so grateful because your presence, representation means so much. I recently shared on Instagram that I became a singer because I saw Jesse Norman.
Yeah.
And at the time, I don't know if it actually filtered down into my consciousness that here she was, this Black woman.
Right.
But I know it had to do something. Something was a part of that. And that I could at least think it was possible for me because of what I saw, and what I heard. And her voice opened all these things inside of me.
Yep.
Your presence on the stage, after all what was 40 years before a Black person had even been hired in the Philadelphia Orchestra when you came on the scene.
Right.
And now this is so wonderful. But even more than that, I would say, or in addition to that, so the work that you do with the youth orchestra, so young people getting to see a kind yet powerful Black man who loves music and loves the same thing that they love, right? And can lead them is really important. And all of these things, and what you're doing in 440, all these things, I'm just so grateful that I get to witness it and be in close proximity. So grateful for that. And I just honor you, my king. And I'm so glad that your epic dream comes true. But I'm going to charge you to expand your dream. Because now that you've reached this pinnacle, this has to become the next floor.
That is absolutely correct. Absolutely.
And so I'm so grateful and I'm so excited to see what else that you will do. I was so excited in the beginning and I forgot to say he's the principal bassist. I was so excited. But just so grateful. So thank you so much for being a part of this narrative and for all that you do and all that you will continue to do as a young man. As we know, with the orchestra, it's kind of like being in academia. You stay on that chair and just drag you off that chair. So many more years to come. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you, Valerie.
Absolutely. Stay right there because I want to thank you for joining us. And I hope that this interview was as enlightening and uplifting to you as it has been to me. And if there is a positive Black man in your life that you want to see highlighted in this forum, please click the link below or in my bio, fill out the nomination form, and I'll take care of the rest. I used to say we're on our way to 100 positive and successful Black men, but hey, we surpassed that, and this is amazing. So we're going to continue. We're going to continue this story and this relationship with you as we continue to burst open these narrow narratives. So please stay tuned next week for another amazing king. And in the meantime, please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thanks so much. And Joe, thank you. That was really awesome.
My pleasure.
Yay. That was awesome.